Welcome back, dear students. In our last class, we discussed the importance of decision making, and in this class, we will discuss the process of decision making. Process of decision making. So, today's topic is process of decision making. First of all, let us examine what is the need of taking decision. Why we need to take decision. Say you have two routes to go to your college. So your target is college, suppose. Your target or goal is college. And you have two routes. Suppose you are here. And these are the problem. And problem is road. You have two routes. One is gravel and another is pitch. Say it is raining. In this situation, you have to select one route out of these two routes. Definitely in this situation, as because it is raining and in a specific time or in a fixed time you have to arrive at the college, definitely you will select the long one, which is long in comparison to gravel also. So you have selected, say, long one. So this is your decision. Say there is no alternative. This route is not there. In this situation, the question of decision making does not arise because you don't have any alternative. The question of decision making arises only when there are some alternatives. So what is the need of decision making? Where there are some alternatives. Where there are some alternatives. If there is no alternative, question of decision making does not arise. Next, come to the definition of decision making. On the basis of the above discussion, we may define the decision making like this. Decision making is a process of selection of the best alternative out of the alternatives. That means you have to select the best one among the alternatives you have. So this will be the definition of decision making. Next, come to the process. That means process of decision making. Under this process, you have to identify the problems. So identification of problem. Identification of problem. What is problem again? Problem means the difference between what is and what should be. What is and what should be. The difference between these two, what is and what should be, is the problem. Or you may say what you are and what you want to be. So gap between these two is the problem. Knowing the problem, you must define it. That means the problem must be well defined. The problem must be well defined. Then come to the diagnosis of the problem. Diagnose the problem. That means you have to find out the root causes of the problem. You have to find out the root causes of the problem. Like a doctor has to find out the causes of the disease on the basis of the history and the information given by the patient and the test report from the laboratory. A doctor has to find out the root causes. And if a doctor can find out the root causes of the disease, majority of treatment is over. So major portion of treatment is over. So same is the case. Problem must be well defined first, then you have to find out the root causes. And if you are in this position, the problem is well defined and root causes you have find, the 50% of your problem is solved. Next, come to development of alternative. Development of alternative. Development of alternatives. That means you have to discover as many as possible alternatives. Discover as many as possible. As many as possible alternatives. You must ensure that not a single possible alternative is left out, because that left out alternative may be the best one. So you must ensure that not a single possible alternative is left out, and for this purpose you have to examine pros and cons. Say, examining the situation or condition, you have discovered 6 alternatives. Say 6 alternatives you have discovered. Just to see these 6 alternatives, you will find out of these 6, say 4, 5, 6, out of these 6, you will find at least 1 or 2 alternative may not be feasible. Suppose alternative 2 alternative is not feasible for you. It may happen due to the constraint like cost or constraint of time, or due to any reasons. You will see that some alternatives are not feasible. Say here you have seen 2 alternatives are not feasible, then you eliminate these 2 and remaining 4. Now these 4 alternatives you have, and you have to examine these 4 alternatives thoroughly. Now next, come to the next point is evaluation of the alternatives. That means you have to evaluate these 4 alternatives on evaluation of alternatives. Evaluation of alternative means you have to find out the advantages and disadvantages of each and every alternative you have. That means advantages and disadvantages in terms of what? In terms of, say, a risk. That means the risk, how much risk involved in each alternative. Which one alternative has more risk or which one has the less risk. You have to find out this. Then in terms of economy. Economy means in terms of what? Economy means time, economy of time, then labor, money, effort, etc. So you have to compare each and every alternative in terms of these points. Which alternative involves more time or labor or money or effort, and which alternative involves less time, less labor, less money, etc. The third point is situation. So situation means whether the matter is, the problem is urgent or you have time. The matter is urgent or you have time. Depending upon this, you have to evaluate your alternatives. Now you got the information about all the alternatives. Now you have to select the best one. That means selection of alternatives. Selection of the best alternative. Selection of the best alternative. That means comparing the alternatives, you have to select the best one, and that is your decision. Now you got the decision, so you have to implement it. The next stage will be implementation of decision. Implementation of the decision. For implementation, as a manager or as a management, you have to provide these things. Number one, then you have to provide time. You have to frame the time. That means time limit. It should be. Next, you have to provide the procedure. What procedure will be followed to implement the decision? And the next will be the resources. Resources means money, material, machines, everything. You have to provide these things. And after implementation, you will get the result. Now, in this position, you have to verify the result with the well-defined problem. That means verification. Verification of what? Verification of result. You got the result after implementation, and that result will be verified with the well defined problem. That means in our first point, identification of problem, I discussed that you must have the well defined problem. So this is the importance of well defined problem, that you have to compare the actual result with the well defined problem. You have to verify these two, and if you are satisfied that the result, there is no difference between the result and the well defined problem, you are satisfied, then you achieve the target. If some differences are there, it may happen. If there are some difference in between result and your target or your well defined problem, then you have to find out the differences. Now you have to find out the causes of these differences. Causes of these differences. You have to find out these causes of these differences. After that, you have to take steps to remove these differences. Thus, decision making is a continuous process. Thank you.